Hello Magic aficionados, my name is Cubicle Aaron and welcome to MtG Pimp Pickups episode 1. And in this show I'm going to go over cards that I've recently acquired that would be described as pimp, foiled out, foreign language, and all that sort of stuff. Cards that I'm excited to show. Big shout outs to Elite Mortal 03 and Quad 9s. Those guys have been putting up some Pimp Pickups videos for years. I love watching this stuff. Definitely, allows me to see cards that I wouldn't have otherwise seen. Sometimes you're looking at cards, you don't quite know if it's worth the money or the trade fodder and all that sort of stuff. And it's nice to see, cards that your local shops don't have and local players don't have that, you get to actually kind of see, except for the instead of this still on the website. So let's get started here. First card, I have my main EDH deck is a Mizzix of the Is Magnus deck, and this deck really started as Melek a few years ago when I got back into Magic, and when Mizzix got spoiled, it is definitely a huge upgrade over Melek. The Melek deck never really quite came together, and I was attempting to make it all foil and just kind of lost interest because the deck wasn't that great. And unfortunately, Mizzix, the normal size card, does not come in foil. I'm not sure why Wizards does this. You make the commander decks, you make those oversized things, which are kind of cool, but in reality nobody uses them. But I have an old foil deck, or I'm getting close to an old foil deck. I think I'm like 84% or 84 of the cards done out of the 100. And so what I did is I went ahead and had a proxy made, a foil proxy. So the proxy guy, which is at the proxy guy on Twitter, and I'll link to his Twitter account in the description of the video. Josh is his name, came through for me and made me this foil proxy, which is absolutely fantastic. He let me pick the artwork, and I've never gotten a foil proxy made before. I've never gotten any proxy made before, and so I didn't quite know what to expect, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. So because of him, I can get an all foil deck, even though the card isn't in foil. I do carry around the non-foil just in case I happen to get into a competitive EDH tournament or something, which isn't likely to happen anytime soon, but just in case anybody questions it, I do have the real card. And so the card's fantastic. He asked me what the artwork I wanted, the border and stuff, so I do love the art. It did look great on the large oversized foil. And I asked him if he could put in the miracle border and do half red, half blue, which just looks really great. So super happy with this. Definitely lucky to get that done for me. So big shots to the proxy guy. Also for the Mizzix deck, Russian full art mountain, definitely my favorite. Full art mountain art got reprinted in BFZ, so this was a little bit easier to find. Russian cards are definitely tough to find sometimes, and got this through the Facebook group for foreign card trading. So Russian mountain for that. Also for that deck, picked up this Russian foil treasure cruise. Love this card. I never got to play with Ancestral Recall, so when this got released, I was playing Delver and Modern, and just felt so powerful. I love casting it. Between Mizzix reducing the cost and, of course, Delve, definitely get to cast this for one all the time and get Ancestral Recall. And certainly the art is a lot better. I love this art. Love to get this card signed, but Cynthia Shepard's now the art director for Magic, and she no longer signs cards by mail. And so So beautiful. Really nice looking card. Nice to have it in Russian. So along with the Mizzix deck, I've been working on putting together a Jund deck for Modern. Over the last few years, I've been building up Modern decks, trading them out. So I recently sold a foil, partially foil Tron deck and some other cards to go all in on, you know, the Jund and Abzan mid-range, the rock type of archetype. Sorry about the camera movement there. So I picked up these two Terminates. I actually picked up three. Two of them, one was near mint and two were EX. So you can see this kind of has a couple white chips on the edge there. It's not a big deal for me. The other one I did have a bunch of surface gunk that you can actually feel, even though it's double sleeved, you can feel it. So I sent that back and got a good apology and a refund for shipping from Card Kingdom. So that was cool. First time I ordered a lot of cards from Card Kingdom, buy list a lot with them as well. Never had any issues until then, and they were quick to make it right and even refund me extra to cover shipping and my envelope and the hassle. So it was very good on them. Love this, you know, this foil. It's so white that the red around the guy just kind of moves when you move the foil around and light strikes it different ways. Looks fantastic. Never loved any of the art, particularly on the Terminates. There is the full art textless one and stuff, but this one just seemed to be like the nicest foil. So I do have to order a third one again, cover that one that I had to send back. Also for the Jund deck, this is the first Expedition I picked up. Absolutely gorgeous card. I think I ended up getting this for maybe $25 more than what the non-foil original was going for. There isn't a lot of people playing Twilight Mires, but the filter lands, you know, are pretty pricey. There's only one printing. I mean, they're great in Commander. They do get used some in Modern. And so the foils of the originals are fairly expensive. And even though this is an Expedition, no edge wear on this either, which is really, really nice. It's definitely near mint. And I was able to grab this for only about 25 bucks more than another copy. So it's definitely a big steal I got there. It's awesome. Also for the Jund deck, I think the rest of the cards here are for the Jund deck. I know these are just foil basics, but looking at picking up, you know, the exact cards that I want to play with in this deck. And this swamp, I think, is just the coolest, the best swamp art ever. I mean, obviously, you know, there are the Therese Nielsen limited edition ones, the Guru lands. That swamp looks amazing. Doesn't come in foil though, but this art and this old border just absolutely looks gorgeous. That border is very shiny, and I've been getting into old borders lately, and was happy with getting these swamps for the deck. Along with the swamps, got two forests. My favorite forest art. There is an original Zendikar full art forest that I do like better. I might pick up a couple of those in foil. They weren't reprinted in BFZ, but I kind of like that the basics match in the deck. You know, they're both old border. Both look super shiny. I did pick up 6 copies of the swamp, only 2 of the forest. And I'm thinking about sending a playset of the swamps out to be signed by Dan Frazier. And I think I might pick up a playset of these forests, do the same. John Avon does sign by mail. Do have to send it overseas. I've got a lot of cards I'd like to get signed by John Avon. I'm a little worried about sending cards overseas. So coming up to the end of the stack here. These aren't foil yet, but I do like foreign language cards. And I picked Russian for my Mizzix deck for Jund, I decided to go with Japanese. Not really sure why. I just feel like the Japanese works better in Jund. Some of the Jund cards, you know, especially the Modern Masters reprinted cards, they're not available in Russian. They're only available in Japanese. So all the cards in the deck are available in Japanese where they're not in Russian. And so I picked up these shocks. They were at my local store, which was great. There was just one of each. Picked them up for the same price as English shocks. And so I will be getting Japanese foils at some point, but in the interim I picked these up and then I'll throw them in the cube or into a commander deck when I do get the foils. And these also are not foil, but kind of the heart of the Jund deck. A playset of Dark Confidants, a playset of Goyfs, and a playset of Liliana. Since I got back into Magic, you know, Jund is the deck that I wanted to play. It's a very expensive deck, so really spent the last 3 years picking up cards, selling cards high, buying cards low, really kind of grinding Magic finance to work up to picking up these cards, which, you know, these 12 cards represent over $1,000. So it's you know, they're not the promo lilies or anything like that, but certainly fairly pimp, I feel like, Magic standards to pull off buying all these cards at once. Picked the Modern Masters Dark Confidant Goyf just because I like the set symbol better. I don't like the original Dark Confidant art. I'm not a fan at all. Also not a fan of the original Tarmogoyf in the Future Sight border. I just don't like it. It's just not my thing. And between Modern Masters and Modern Masters 2015, I like the 2015 logo a lot better. Also works out that they're cheaper, which is nice, but you know, buying these cards for the long haul to play with them, I want them to be exactly what I want. And it may seem a little bit silly to go with one set logo over another, but when I buy cards like this and cards you'll see in these pimp videos, you know, it's definitely the artwork, it's the time frame, it's how does the foil look, you know, it's the flavor text, the set logos, everything goes into the choice of, you know, why I'm buying certain cards for my deck. It's not just, you know, which are the most expensive, but it's just what I like the best. So thanks for watching. Definitely subscribe for more upcoming videos. I'll be putting one of these up every month with whatever I pick up for the month between my EDH decks, finishing Jund, Abzan Mardu mid-range for Modern, and picking up stuff for my cube. And check out thecubicle.co for our podcast. Myself and my friend Jason, we own a cube together, and we talk about what we're going to put in the cube, what we're going to cut from the cube, and get some interactive discussion going around holding down a cube. Thanks for watching.